Book 3 in the Kyren series, Kyren Dawn of the BlackEco, it was originally supposed to be the end of the Kyren franchise for me. I was gonna, like, oh, okay, I did my trilogy and I'm kind of getting out of it now. But as I worked on it more, I was just, I really love this world that I've begun to create. And for a long time, book 3 was my favorite just because I felt a little more comfortable with what I was doing. And I was like, I can tell these stories a little bit better now. I can really have this finale with these characters that I've created be something substantial. I did a little bit more with this one. I ended up creating a two-part album, Black Echo Part 2, as companion albums to set up some of the characters in the book, which leads me back to what I mentioned a couple videos ago about how some of my albums have narrative connections. So for roughly, I'm going to split it down the middle and say, no, I'll say about 70% of my body of work is interconnected, maybe a little bit more, where all of them exist within the same universal story. So Cameron London as a character exists within the Kyren universe, but far away in the past. The Kyren books are set roughly 400 years in the future. So everything that I've done in the books is everything that I'll do in my lifetime. I kind of set it up that way because I use the books as an opportunity to also mix in my music. So if a character is listening to a song from me, I try not to mention myself by name. I try to just keep it vague as an artist. But that artist and all of those songs that the characters listen to, from there's this box of CDs. So it's every body of work that I will have created in my entire life exists within the Kyren universe. So as long as I continue making music and as long as I continue making books, I'll always be able to keep incorporating the music into the books because, like I said, everything that I'm going to do already exists within the Kyren universe itself. But for BlackEco specifically, like I said, it was supposed to originally be the end of the Kyren franchise. It was the end of the trilogy. It was the longest book. It was the book with, I feel, some of the best moments, character beats, reveals, things like that. And I was just like, okay, I feel like I can wrap this up nice and leave things here if I decide to walk away. Inevitably, that that was not going to happen because knowing me as a person, knowing who I am, I get very attached to the things that I do and I pour as much as I can into them. So when I finished with book 3, I was like, you know what I also need to do? I got to work on the soundtrack. I ended up releasing a soundtrack alongside this, and it included soundtracks, songs for book 1, 2, and 3, where I was essentially scoring it like it was a movie. And that was also my first time doing somewhat orchestral scoring, producing. Obviously, very hip hop and R&B based sometimes, but going into that genre to make what is the equivalent of an original soundtrack, original motion picture soundtrack for a book series was something I had never done before. So that this album, this book, and this first trilogy holds a really special place in my heart for what it set up for the future. I know I wouldn't be where I am today, musically, artistically, narratively, if I never had woken up and had that thought of, I just wanna write a book. I've always loved comic book characters and anime and manga and